Palapit na po yung Pasko. I wish masaya ang Pasko today at sa taon na 'to. Sana wala ng more price increases. So I choose to start the topic from introduction to audit of financial information, and then this topic, corporate governance, which is, I know it's quite alam ko bago sa pandinig nyo, yung corporate governance. We're almost 60 na 10 yung 29 pa lang tayo. Alam ko 60 plus tayo dapat. Alam ko. Ito yung worry ko sa online class. Yung iba medyo complacent dahil nandun lang sila sa bahay nila. Magbubukas late. Or magbukas na, minsan pababayaan. Chine-check ko po yung attendance nyo actually. Sana ibahin nyo sana itong kahit na yung mga major subject nyo, dapat talaga you attend to it. Kaya po bumababa yung natin, performance natin sa board exams because ewan ko kung anong naging epekto ng pandemic sa mga estudyante. Parang nasanay na lalo-lalo itong mga yung mga major subject nila. Literally, that's parang na lang ang treatment nila sa major subject nila kapareho nung iba nilang subject, mga non-major subject. Hindi dapat focus more emphasis on your major subjects. Lalo pa ngayon, fourth year na kayo. The next year, alam ko yung iba sa inyo sasalang na sa review, and at the same time, maybe May after another, kukuha na kayo ng board exam. Sige, let's start with corporate governance. Now, when we talk about corporate governance, it doesn't mean the governance within the entity. On the side of the firm. Hindi po yung firm ang dinidiscuss natin dito. But which is corporate governance of the client. Of course, we took part on, auditors took part of the great role in corporate governance. Now, look at the entity of the client. Kumbaga, dito natin, ang consideration natin, ano ba yung corporate governance of the client firm? The firm client, I mean. Now, kaya sila nagkakaroon ng business organization. It's because of the stockholders. Na kung wala yung stockholders, wala pong magiging business organization in a form of corporation or whatever. So meaning, we focus more on the investor side, which is the stockholder. Of course, the stockholder provide resources for the entity. And now the entity must have a set of managers who manages the who manage the corporation or the entity. Now, sino ang nag-hire ng management? Sino nag-create ng management? It's the stockholders also. Through the board of directors, which is the governing body of the corporation. Alam natin yung in our RBTF, regulatory framework for business transaction, that a corporation is governed by the board of directors. Now, doon sa board of directors, guys, sila nga yung standard setting value of the corporation. Again, as I've said, sila yung mga tao na pinili ng stockholders to be the governing body of the corporation. Meron silang chairman of the board, different committees, meron pa ng executive committee, nandun yung finance, nandun yung lahat po ng aspeto. Maybe, let us say, yung engineering, production, or what. It depends on the board of directors what to create on different committee. Now, doon sa mga committee na yun, meron tayong tinatawag yun ng audit committee. Yung audit committee na yan is composed of also of directors. Board of directors. I mean, alam natin ang board of directors must be holder of at least 1 shares of stock. So, lahat ng mga yan came from the stockholders themselves. To which ang requirement dyan to be a member of the audit committee, again, you must be also a stockholder. But it does not mean if nasa audit committee ka, member ka na rin ng let us say the board of directors. Now the board of directors selects among the organization to be the members of the audit committee. But sometimes minsan lahat din ng part of the ng audit committee. Pwedeng member talaga lahat ng board of directors. Now, ang tawag sa kanila nga is independent directors. Now, ano bang function ng audit committee? Ang function ng audit committee yung oversight on the financial and reporting standards of the corporation, so that a requirement of the audit committee, at least meron sila doon isang financial expert. Kumbaga, alam niya ang kalakalan in terms of finance. Kasi nga, unang-una pa lang, yung financial reporting of the entity, sa kanila po yun nakasalalay. Sa kanila, sila ang may oversight doon sa na yan, sa committee na yan. Sila yung may responsibility. In fact, the internal auditor or maybe the compliance officer also work together with closely work with the audit committee. Doon sila nagre-report sa audit committee as the board viewed audit committee as independent directors, independent in the organization. Sila lang po ang ano doon. Kumbaga, they really were tasked to perform the financial reporting of the entity so that the accountant also will work closely with the internal auditor. Magtatrabaho din siya to which kailangan siyang mag-comply doon sa pamantayan ng sound accounting system of the corporation. So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng audit committee. Yun yung ano nila, yun yung trabaho mismo nila. Now, again, the entity, the stockholders, and then the board of directors. Now, yung board of directors also were being guided for their compliance with the government, to which the government does have different agencies that took part a role to the corporation also. Ano ba itong mga government agency na to? Number one is the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So that etong BIR, sila yung magbibigay ng regulations to the board of directors kung ano dapat ang reporting nila sa financial statement nila. So may guidance ang Bureau of Internal Revenue. In fact, kung hindi maganda yung ginawa ng corporation, meron silang understatement o whatever, kung anong magiging violation nila in terms of financial reporting standards, yung BIR ang kakaharapin nila. Now, ano pang government agencies na yan? Well, kung yan ay mining industry, sigurado akong involved doon ang DENR. To which ang DENR, meron diyang Environmental Management Bureau na kung saan tinitingnan may control ang Environmental Management Bureau doon sa mining activity of entities doing mines in the Philippines. Sila yung may control doon. Kung ano lang dapat yung environmental compliance of the mining industry. Ano pa? Yung government agencies that may involved, na mayroong regulations na binibigay sa board of directors. Securities and Exchange Commission. We know that Security and Exchange Commission is a regulatory body concerning the organization of the corporation, na dapat ang corporation daw kailangan 60% of which are Filipino citizens, yung shareholders. Na dapat ang korporasyon ay pagmamayari na at least 60% of the shares were owned by Filipinos. Kaya nga yung ABS-CBN, nakasuhan sila dahil ang major stockholders nila are not Filipino citizens. The Lopez's. Yun. That's a good example of how a corporation being regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission, yung issuance ng shares of stocks, yung issuance ng corporate bonds, whatever, which involve sources of the entity. Now, yung corporate governance na yun, yung firm, which is the auditing firm, sila yung ano, sila yung magiging tawag nito. Parang sila yung magba-vouch ng credibility of the entity. When we say the entity as a whole, it is composed of one, management, the board of directors, and the shareholders. To which ang board of directors naman, sila yung mag-hire ng independent auditor of the corporation na magbabounce ng kanilang performance in terms of its stewardship of the corporate asset. So, parang ang firm that audited the financial statement of the entity, parang isang mata. Kumbaga, sila yung titingin sa sa stewardship ng management at ang reportorial requirement ng government agencies ay nasusunod ng entity. So meaning, napakalaki ng role ng auditing firm dito sa entity na to, na kung saan sila yung magbabouch regarding the entity's financial statement presentation or financial information reporting to the government agency. Yun yung role ng auditing firm. Hindi lang doon sa government agency. What about the stockholders? Na hindi naman talaga involved sa management ng entity. Kasi, you just imagine a corporation na napakalaking korporasyon, napakadaming shareholders na yan. In fact, yung trading ng shares of stock of that corporation, lalong-lalo na pag publicly traded yan, every time, nag-iiba yung number of shares issued. Kasi nga, maraming investor we're interested to invest to that particular entity. Ito mga shareholders na to, ang magiging mata rin nila is yung auditing firm that vouches the financial reporting of the management. To which the management closely work with the board of directors, and that the board of directors has that particular committee which has an oversight of the financial reporting standard of the entity. So, during the audit, ang firm ay nakikipag-usap sa audit committee. In fact, kung wala mang audit committee, isang maliit na korporasyon, ang kausap nila is the internal auditor also. Sila yung magtatrabaho. Makikipagtrabaho sila sa internal auditor. Pero pag malaking korporasyon, siyempre ibang usapan yun. Kasi nga, different stockholders do have different interest of the entity. Magkaiba sila ng interest. So napakalaki ng role ng auditing firm also in the corporate governance that is composed of the entities, stockholders, board of directors, and the management. In fact, yung mag-set ng ng fees, ng engagement ng firm, nakasalalay po sa audit committee. Although the board of directors chooses kung sino dapat ang magiging auditor nila, but perhaps the audit committee can recommend kung anong auditing firm ang gusto mong i-hire ng korporasyon. Ganun po. At ang makikipag-usap patungkol sa fees at saka scope of work in the audit is the audit committee also. So yan yung you just picture out kung ano ang role ng management, ng board of directors, ng audit committee, ng regulatory agencies of the government. I mean, parang inilagay sa isang venue ng auditing firm yung different part of the corporate governance. Parang kumbaga parang misaya itong auditing firm dito sa different um, bodies that composes the corporate governance. Yun po. So, wala tayong magagawa kasi bago tong topic na to, kailangan nating i-explore. In fact, yung corporate governance wala pa sa libro sa local books natin, baka hindi pa nabanggit yung corporate governance. In fact, yung corporate governance na encounter ko lang sa mga sa internet, na alam kong kasama na siya ngayon sa discussion. Kasama na siya sa part ng auditing subject. Kasi nandun na rin siya sa syllabus. Pero yung mga local books natin, parang, ewan ko kung meron nang nagbanggit patungkol sa corporate governance. Maybe, pero nakita ko, meron ng mga foreign authored book na part na po yung corporate governance. Basta ang discussion mo, ang role ng management, role ng, ano ang role ng shareholders, ano ang role naman ng board of directors that composes the different committees, that includes also the audit committees that closely work with the auditing firm during the audit. In fact, sila nga daw ang magsiset ng fees. I mean, yung preliminary engagement activities. Itong audit committee na to ang nakikipag-usap actually sa engagement team or departments. In fact, during the course of the audit, sila rin yung makikipagtrabaho doon sa auditing firm in the conduct of the audit. Now, yung pinaka-role talaga ng auditing firm ay napakalaki. Para magkaroon ng common ground yung different organization or different individuals that have different interests to the entity. Na kung saan regulatory agency is also giving regulations to the board of directors in the conduct of their business. Meron pa rin koneksyon si regulatory agencies dito sa auditing firm kasi nga kailangan i-vouch ni auditing firm yung financial reporting of the entity. So, in the end, parang ang auditing firm, again, lends credibility of the entity. Ganon ang role ng auditing firm and the corporate governance. Parang matapo yung auditing firm na siyang titingin sa interest ng government agency, the stockholders, and the public. Ganun po. So, ganun talaga guys ka importante yung role ng auditing firm and the corporate governance. Okay. So, siguro, with that brief explanation, siguro may ano din na, parang meron na kayong bird's eye view what does corporate governance means. Lalo pa nito pagka sasagutan na natin yung mga multiple choice questions and true or false question dito sa na-prepare kong material. Okay? Bubuksan ko lang yung PowerPoint ko. Ang mag-share screen po tayo. Okay, true or false muna. Number 1. The objective of financial reporting is to provide useful information to interested users. Now, these interested users are also part of the corporate governance. Okay. The answer is true. Number 2. Financial transparency relates to how well resources are protected and managed by the company and its management. Again, financial transparency relates to how well resources are protected and managed by the company and its management. Guys, anong sagot dito? Is it true that financial transparency relates to how well resources are protected and managed by the company and its management? Well, parang true. Yung financial transparency, nai-enhance yun ng auditing firm. Yung firm po ang nag-i-enhance ng financial transparency. Now, yung corporate governance ba ay may role dito sa financial transparency? Yes. Pero ang sabi dito, hindi ba to ang ibig sabihin nito is stewardship ng management? Again, yung corporate governance, which is composed by the different bodies of the corporation, meron pong role in terms of financial transparency. Pero dito, yung how well resources are managed by the company and its management, ang tawag dito is stewardship. Stewardship to ng management. That's why the answer is false. Number 3. Corporate governance is a process by which the owners, but not creditors, exert control over the resources of the enterprise. Ay, hindi ho. Kasi ang corporate governance, again, it includes the creditors, yung provider ng financial facility. Part po to sila ng corporate governance. That's why the answer is false. Number 4, management can influence who sits on the board and the audit committee as well as other governance controls that might be put into place. Again, management can influence who sits on the board and the audit committee as well as other governance controls that might be put into place. Of course, yung management really can influence. They can influence. Kasi nga, kung titingnan mo yung management, lalong-lalo na yan ay isang family corporation na kung saan yung member ng audit committee part din ng family. No. So, they really can influence. Ng audit committee as well as governance controls that might be put into place. So, the answer here is true. Number 5. Commission sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange issued a report in 2010 that successful governance depends heavily upon honest, competent, and industrious managers. Yes. Kahit dito naman yata sa Pilipinas, huwag na lang natin sama yung itong sinasabi na commission sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange, this might also meron tayong sariling commission natin, di ba? Yung sa Philippine Stock Exchange. We do have that also. And they can tell also na yung successful governance depends heavily upon honest, competent, and industrious managers. The answer here is true. Number 6. The board's fundamental objective should be to build a system of internal controls that will ensure the financial statements are free from all error. Tama na sana yung umpisa. Kaya lang, the statement from, yung phrase na from all error, medyo absolute na to. Kaya, the answer is false. Number 7. An important aspect of governance is the independent judgment of boards about what is in the best interest of the company and its shareholder. Number 7. An important aspect of governance is the independent judgment of boards about what is the best interest of the company and its shareholder. So, Yung governance, of course, napakaliking bagay na it is composed of independent, yung corporate governance which involves the audit committee. Nakakapalaking bagay kapag ito ay independent members of the board. Kaya nga ang audit committee, they were viewed as independent board of directors. That's why the answer here is true. Number 8. Number 8, the external auditor has the primary responsibility for creating a culture of performance with integrity and ethical behavior within the client's organization. Again, the external auditor has the primary number 8 pala. The external auditor has the primary responsibility for creating a culture of performance with integrity and ethical behavior within the client's organization. Ano naman kinalaman ng external auditor? Doon sa client's organization. Sila ba talaga ang responsibility doon? Yung external auditor has its responsibility to the public so that they may appear independent, diba? Independent in fact and independent of appearance. That's why the answer here is false. Number 9. Since the board is responsible to protect the interests of the shareholder, independence is not necessary attribute for board members. Again, since the board is responsible to protect the interests of shareholders, independence is not necessary attributes for the board. Yung not ang naging ang nagpamali sa sagot na to. That's why the answer here is false. Independence is necessary attribute for board members because they are the standard seating body. Again, the answer is false. Number 10. Companies must strike the right balance in the appointment of independent and non-independent directors to ensure an appropriate range and mix of expertise, diversity, and knowledge on the board. Number 10, companies must strike the right balance in the appointment of independent and non-independent directors to ensure appropriate range and mix of expertise, diversity, and knowledge on the board. The answer here is true. Tama nga no. Yung mamimili ng ng independent members and non-independent directors, yung shareholder. Kaya kailangan nilang i-balance eh. Although, syempre, yung large stockholders can really influence the decision. Pero dito ang sinabi naman, company must strike right balance in the appointment of independent and non-independent directors. Although, kahit ba naman i-assume natin the shareholders na meron silang na sila yung majority. Again, they may also, kasi ano naman nila yun, common interest nila yun. Common interest nila. So, the answer is true. Number 11. If if it is for a board to take a check the box mentality when implementing and complying with governance governance mandates and best practices. It is effective for a board to take a check the box mentality when implementing and complying with governance mandates and best practices. Anong ibig sabihin ng check the box? Siguro ngayon lang tayo naka-encounter nito, di ba? In fact, ako parang ang hirap, ang hirap, tawag ito. Ang hirap i-interpret yung, anong ibig sabihin nito? Yung check the box. Ang tingin ko dito po ay ang tingin ko dito parang narrow-mindedness ang ibig sabihin nitong check the box mentality. Wala tayong magagawa kasi maaaring, alam mo na yung mga examiner natin minsan talagang nangungupya lang ng tanong sa mga libro na kung saan hahanapin nila yung minsan sa tingin nila ay remote at minsan ibinibigay nila sa exam. Kaya itong check the box na mentality nito, siguro parang narrow-mindedness ang nito, ang ibig sabihin nito, yung interpretation dito. Kaya ang answer nito is false. Number 12, minsan hindi natin maiwasan mga ngabisado talaga. Hindi talaga maiwasan yun. Pero not all the time yun ang ginagawa natin kasi alam natin we must answer in a logical manner. Huwag natin babayaan na magiging kabisote na lang tayo kasi nga theoretical ang question sa CPA board exam in terms sa auditing. Again, ang ibig ko sabihin, minsan hindi maiwasan. Pero talagang dapat ang sagot natin ay logical. Logical lang po. Number 12. The first decade of the 21st century has seen more changes in corporate governance than at any time since the Great Depression. True. Of course, yung corporate governance will change over time. Walang walang permanenteng bagay, di ba? So that even corporate governance composition or bodies ay mag-iiba yan. Maaring after our time, kaming mga nasa 1900s, ay hindi na namin may experience yung changes ng corporate governance sa ibang henerasyon o sa ibang dekada na. And that magkakaroon ng gap yung old ones sa young ones, di ba? Kaya nga yung mga centennial people ay magkaiba talaga yung di ba? Mentality kung ikukumpara natin sila sa ano, sa mga yan. The answer is true. Number 13. Governance failure over the past decade were primarily limited to the United States. Ba, parang limitado lang daw yung ano, yung governance failure over past decades were primarily limited to the United States. It also applies in some other states, in some other countries. That's why the answer here is false. Number 14. Board of directors that did not spend sufficient time or have sufficient expertise to perform duties led to corporate governance failure. Again, board of directors that did not spend sufficient time or have sufficient expertise to perform duties led to corporate governance failure. The answer here is true. Kung wala ganong expertise at hindi binibigyan ng sufficient time ng board, yung creation ng ano ng audit committee nila, yung time nila invested to that particular aspect, lalo na yung expertise, hindi ka masyadong hindi masyadong gumagasta. Yung korporasyon, well, it may lead to corporate governance failure. Mangyayari yun. Answer is true. Number 15. The audit committee is a subcommittee of the board of directors comprised of independent outside directors. True. Ito yung this comprise the audit committee. Number 16. The auditor must communicate significant audit adjustment to the audit committee. Again, the auditor must communicate significant audit adjustment to the audit committee. Yes, in fact, yung auditor, sabi ko nga, will work closely with the audit committee. To which the findings in the audit, so that the auditor must let us say the auditor view it as kailangan na magkaroon ng adjustment sa financial statement nila. They will communicate the significant audit adjustment to the audit committee. Answer here is true. Number 17. Any major disagreement the auditor has with management should be discussed with the audit committee. Again, any major disagreement the auditor has with management should be discussed with the audit committee. Yes, it should be discussed with the audit committee because the audit committee is composed of directors that are independent and outside directors. Doon dapat pag-uusapan sa audit committee yung disagreement with the management. So, answer is true. Number 18. Managers of organization are hired by board of directors to perform responsibilities such as implementation of internal control. Yes, this is correct. Board of Directors talaga naman ang mag-hire ng managers. And that, yung responsibilities of implementation of internal control ay dinidelegate ng Board of Directors dun sa mga managers. Answer is true. 19. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act prohibits auditors from performing consulting services for the audit clients. True. Number 20. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board sets standard for audits of private and public companies. Again, and number 20, the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board sets standard for audits of private and public companies. The answer is true. Ito naman talaga yung rule ng Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. Number 21. An auditor is required to communicate new accounting principles adopted by the organization to the audit committee. Again, an auditor is required to communicate new accounting principles adopted by the organization to the audit committee. Yes. Kailangan mag-communicate din yung auditor sa mga panibagong accounting principles that might be adopted by the organization and the audit committee. In fact, yung expertise ng mga auditors, yung enhancement nila to the new accounting standards or principles adopted, kailangan ng auditing firm yan, di ba? Yung regular information nila pertaining to newly accepted accounting principles and accounting standards. The answer is true. Meron yatang hindi na-unmute dyan. Magkakarinigan sa iba. Paki-unmute po. Okay. Number 22. Meron pong hindi naka-unmute. Baka ma-istorbo yung iba. Maririnig po ng ibang Paki-unmute muna. Ano po? Okay. Paki-mute pala. Okay, number 22. Audit committees are motivated to make sure the auditors do their job because poor performance on the part of the auditors will directly reflect on the performance of the audit committee members. Again, number 22, audit committee are motivated to make sure the auditors do their job because poor performance on the part of the auditors will directly reflect on the performance of the audit committee. Now, etong auditors na to is the company's auditor to. Hindi po to yung independent. Kasi kahit ba naman hindi sila i-motivate ng audit committee, the auditing firm or the engagement team shall do their job. Kaya tingin ko dito ang statement na to will not apply to the independent auditors. The auditors of the company itself to, yung internal auditors to. That's why the answer is True. Number 23. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board has 5 members, all of which must be CPAs. Hindi naman kailangan CPA lahat yan. Kasi nga naman, meron pa namang ibang aspect which requires engineering and IT, yung information technology knowledge. Hindi naman siguro kailangan CPA pa yung mga yun. Okay. Answer is false. Number 24. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board has the power of performing inspection of public accounting firms to determine the performance and check for improvements if any. Again, the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board has the power of performing inspection of public accounting firms to determine their performance and check for improvements if any. This is the function of the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. True. Number 25. In order to safeguard excuse me, second. Okay. In order to safeguard independence of the firm, partners and managers of public accounting firms must go through a cooling off period to period to taking a high level position of employment with a public client company. Again, in order to safeguard independence of the firm, partners and managers of public accounting firms must go through a cooling off period prior to taking a high-level position of employment with public client company. Answer is true. Kailangan bigyan ng time. Yung pagkuha ng high-level position of employment with a public client company. Kumbaga, merong gap po yung Meron pa rin teka lang ha. Merong hindi nag-unmute dyan. Nagkakarinigan to which ako rito, nadidistract din po. Pakimute muna. Patingin muna sa mga nyo ha. Meron kasing hindi nakamute. Tapos nag-uusap yung mga tao sa paligid nyo. Nadidistract po tayo ha. Pakitingin muna. Meron pa rin talaga. Rizal-Oxley Act includes provision requiring the auditors and the management to certify the financial statement and disclosure and the quality of internal controls. Number 27. Yan, kabisaduhin nyo na lang yan, ha? Talagang hindi natin, ako nga, hindi ko alam yung na to eh. This question is taken from kinuha po to sa isang foreign authored book. Sinama ko lang to para at least makita mo in case na inilabas to. hindi ka mabibigla. Number 28. Number 29. The audit committee must be composed of outsiders such as the organization's attorney and audit partner. Answer is false. The audit committee must be composed of outsiders such as organization's attorney and audit partner. Internal po itong ano. Organization's attorney. Okay, number 30. The nominating committee is a standing committee of the board of directors whose purpose is to oversee the accounting and financial reporting process of the company and the financial statement audits. Again, the nominating committee is a standing committee of the board of directors whose purpose is to oversee the accounting and financial reporting process of the company and the financial statement audits. Nominating committee is a standing committee of the board of directors whose purpose. Hindi po nominating committee to. This is the audit committee. So, the answer is false. Hindi to nominating committee, ha? Tawag dito is audit committee. Number 31. When operating effectively, the audit committee may replace the process performed by external auditor. Hindi naman tama yan. It will not replace the work of an external auditor. Although this audit committee is composed of independent directors, but iba talaga yung independence that the auditing firm will provide to independent users. Kasi nga part pa rin to ng board of directors of the organization. So, pwede pa rin hindi impartial yung judgment. Number 32, answer is false. Number 32, the audit committee will receive feedback from both internal and external auditors on a number of issues, including the quality of internal controls over financial reporting. This is true. Lahat ng feedback that might came from internal auditor as well as external auditor ay magiging parang doon yung venue itong feedback na to from internal and external auditor kung meron silang masasabi in terms of financial reporting and issues with quality of internal controls. Answer is true. Number 33, for public companies and the audit committee must be composed of outside directors who are also all financial experts. Number 33. For public companies, the audit committee must be composed of outside directors who are also all financial experts. Hindi naman kailangan at least one financial expert. Hindi naman lahat Kailangan financial expert. Answer is false. Number 34, sumaba yung sagot. The audit committee relies on internal and external auditor to develop and communicate objective information needed by the audit committee to effectively perform its oversight function. True? Pero sa tingin ko hindi naman all the time to, ha? Kasi sila naman talaga ang sila naman talaga ang may responsibility to perform it effectively. Hindi lang naman sila dapat mag-rely sa internal or external auditor. They themselves has also the job to develop its performance. However, they may rely information coming from external and external auditor. True. Number 35. Naku, sumabay na naman. The audit committee typically would not review the management decision and analysis section of the annual report filed with the SEC, since the section of the report is responsibility of the management and includes forward-looking statement. Answer is false. Number 36. A survey of audit committee members conducted by KPMG in 2010 indicated that average companies hold 12 audit committee meetings annually. False yan, ha? False. Para bang ini-expect yung survey of audit committee members, kailangan daw mag-hold sila ng 12 audit committee meetings annually. Management of companies should have the ability to hire and fire external auditor. Hindi pwede. Ang merong decision ng nito is the board of directors. And this might be delegated to the audit committee, but not by the management themselves. Kailangan board na. Of course, it might be delegated to the audit committee as an independent body. Number 38. The audit committee should have the authority to hire and fire the external dalawang beses pa. Uy, bakit ito true? The audit committee should have the authority to hire and fire external. Iba naman pala to, audit committee na to. Ito, true na po. Kanina, management. So again, para lang sinabi dito, idinugtog lang ito to make sure kung sino ang may karapatan na mag-hire at saka mag-fire ng external auditor. Audit committee po, through the board of directors. The purpose of the audit committee is to oversee all aspects of the financial reporting process, including preparation and filing of financial statement, internal control over financial reporting, and related risk. That's true. This is the function of the major function of the audit committee. Number 40. At least half of the members of the audit committee should be composed of independent directors. Answer is false. Kasi ang gusto niyang ipalabas dito, kailangan po ang members ng audit committee should be all independent directors. Number 41. The audit committee is responsible for ensuring that management designs and implements sound internal control, which is essential for reliable financial reporting for any organization. True. At least, the true or false question might enlighten you doon sa kung ano yung role, ma-replay sa ano mo, sa utak mo. Yung mga sinabi ko kanina, malamang meron akong nakaligtaan, pero itong ano na to, itong true or false question na to, makikita mo yung ano, yung mga functions na malamang hindi ko po nabanggit nabanggit doon sa discussion. Okay. The chief internal audit executive should have direct reporting access to audit committee. And the committee should oversee the activities and budget of the internal audit function. That is true. Okay, sumabay na naman sagot. The audit committee should meet in separate executive session with management, the external auditor, the internal auditor, legal counsel, and other advisors. Answer is 2. 44. The board should not consider limiting the number of years an individual can serve an audit committee, since the more an audit committee members understand the company, the more effective that member will be able to perform the required duties. False. Kasi baka mamaya sa tagal niya sa committee, magkakaroon na siya ng familiarity questions doon sa management. Okay, number 45. The recent academic research show that companies with corporate governance have higher return on equity than other companies. Tama bang sabihin to? Recent academic research show that companies with good corporate governance have higher return on equity than other companies. Hindi naman lahat ng panahon tama itong masasabi na. Kasi yung stewardship on the company's resources, dito po yung nakasalalay sa management, hindi sa corporate governance. Kung merong magandang management yung entity, in charge for the operation, marketing, that would result to higher return on equity. Operation po to. Number 46. According to standard SAS 61, auditors are required to inform the audit committee of significant audit adjustment discovered during the engagement. According to SAS 61, auditors required to inform the audit committee of any significant audit adjustment discovered during the engagement. Yes, this is true. Kailangan the auditor will work closely with the audit committee if there is significant audit adjustment to be taken during the engagement. Number 47. The audit committee be assured that the auditor is free of any restriction and has not been influenced by the management during the course of the audit. Hindi naman tama. False to. Hoy, bakit true yan? This is false ha. Ang sagot dito ay false. Hindi true yan ha. It's not an assurance. False po yan ha. Number 48. The American Institute of Certified Public Accountants no longer retains the right to set audit standard for public companies such as the Securities Exchange Commission has relinquished such power. True. O false naman, nabaligtad to. Ay sa number 49. False po yan ha, number 48, true yan ha, true. Again, 47 is false, and the 48 is true. Okay, punta na tayo sa multiple choice question. So number 1, corporate governance is a process by which the owners and creditors of an organization exert control, require accountability, exert control, and require accountability. Letter D, neither exert control nor require accountability. Of course, the corporate governance exert control and require accountability. Answer is letter C. Number 2, stockholders require accountability from management for financial performance, financial transparency, quality of internal controls, all of the above. Yes, the stockholders requires accountability from the management. Ito pong lahat ng binanggit dito is required by the stockholders for the management in doing their duties. Answer here is all of the above. The responsibility for operating an enterprise is delegated to letter C, management. Management po ang responsable nito, ha? Number 4, Section 304 of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act requires executive to forfeit any bonus or incentive-based pay or profits, including stock options, from the sale of stock received in the 12 months prior to an earnings statement. This is often referred to as, sagot daw dito ay clawback provision. Number 5, governance demands accountability back through the system to the again governance demands accountability back through the system to the shareholders po yan, ha? Shareholders. Kasi yung accountability demand, um, yung governance demand accountability, pabalik po lahat yan kasi yung entity, hindi naman na-create yan without the shareholders. Yung management naman, meron yan sila, it's because it's the shareholders hired them through the board of directors. Na kung saan yung board of directors is composed of the shareholders. I hope you understand what I'm telling you, ha? Lahat po yan babalik yan sa accountability ng shareholders when we talk about governance. Okay. Number 6, the audit client of the CPA firm is number 6. The audit client of the CPA firm is the audit client of the CPA firm is the audit committee. Number 7, the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2010 was enacted in response to the financial crisis of 2008 and 2009 and included in the following corporate governance requirement. Answer is letter A. Okay, number 8. The audit committee has oversight responsibility for outside reporting, internal auditing, external auditing. Again, number 8. The audit committee has oversight responsibility for outside reporting. Yes, it has responsibilities on outside reporting. By way of presenting, sila po lahat ang gagawa ng reports to the different government agency, to its stockholders, to information users, sila po. Ganon din, may oversight responsibility sila sa internal auditing. In fact, the internal auditor will work closely with the audit committee in discharging its duties. And so with the external auditing. Kaya ang sagot dito is letter D. Number 9. Which of the following should be communicated by the auditor to the audit committee? Again, which of the following should be communicated by the auditor to the audit committee? Letter A, auditor's responsibility under GAAP, all significant audit adjustment, significant accounting policies. Letter D, all are required communication. Number 9, answer is letter D. Lahat po yan kailangan i-discuss by the auditor to the audit committee. Number 10. Which one of the following will provide auditing standard of public company? Again, which one of the following will provide auditing standard of public companies? The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. Letter D. Yan na. The Public Companies Accounting Oversight Board has the authority to do all of the following except. Alin daw ang hindi? Perform peer reviews on public accounting firms. Letter B, establish quality control standard for auditors of public companies. Take responsibility for an organization financial statement. Set audit standards. Alin daw dito ang authority ng yung hindi authority ng Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. Sila ba talaga ang may responsibility of the financial statement of the entity? No. This is the responsibility of the management na kung saan, kung talking with the corporate organization, nasa board of directors po to. Part po to ng responsibility ng audit committee. Hindi po to ng Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. Number 12. Management of an organization has the responsibility for all of the following exempt. Alin naman daw dito ang hindi responsibility niya ng management of the organization? Accounting policies used in financial reporting, engagement of a qualified auditor, internal control over financial reporting, financial statement and disclosure. Alin dito ang hindi function ng management? Yung engagement ng qualified auditor. Kasi ito po ay function ng board through its audit committee. Pabalik-balik ito in the sense na binibigyan ng emphasis na yan po talaga ay function ng audit committee. Number 13. A commission sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange is issued a report in 2010 indicating that successful governments depends heavily upon, yan, binanggit ko na ito kanina, honest managers, competent managers, and industrious managers. Kaya all of the above po ang sagot dyan. 13. Letter D is the answer. The board's fundamental objective should be to ensure the financial statements are free from all errors. To ensure management interests are properly reflected in the strategy of the company. Letter C, build long-term sustainable growth in the shareholder value for the corporation. Number 14, letter D, none of the above. Which one of the following is the fundamental objective? Is the board's fundamental objective? Ito yung ensure the financial statement are free from all errors. Hindi naman kaya to ng ano. In fact, yung presentation of financial statement, yung iba dyan are just estimate. Kaya hindi pwedeng hindi magkakamali. Ensure management interests are properly reflected in the statement of company policies. Ensure now yung management interests are properly reflected in the strategy of the company. Hindi po ano hindi po minsan masasabi yung doon sa strategy ng company yung interest ng management po. So, what's the answer for number 14? Ano po ang sagot sa number 14? The fundamental objective, the board's fundamental objective is to build long-term sustainable growth in shareholder value of for the corporation. Ito yung board's fundamental objective. Number 15. The corporate governance responsibilities of management include, again, the corporate governance responsibility of the management include establishing risk management process, establishing proper internal controls, requiring high ethical standards, and letter D, all of the above. Lahat po ito ay responsibilities. Again, the corporate governance responsibilities of management includes all of the above. Number 16. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002 requires management public companies to certify the accuracy of financial statement. Parang hindi tama ito. Masyadong absolute. Establish a corporate code of conduct, take accountability for the stated earnings. All of the above daw ang sagot dito. Again, certify the accuracy of financial statement. I don't think so. Establish a corporate code of conduct, take responsibility for the stated retained earnings, all of the above. Number 17. All of the following groups have responsibility for ensuring proper corporate governance, exempt. Again, all of the following groups have responsibility for ensuring proper corporate governance, exempt. So walang exemption lang. All of the above have the responsibility of ensuring proper corporate governance. Shareholders, board of directors, regulatory agency. Number 18. Kung titingnan mo itong dalawa, shareholders and board of directors, on the entity side ito, but to picture out corporate governance, ito po is composed of the auditor, the government agency, and the entities. Number 18, governance failures over the past decade related to the stockholders included all of the following exempt. Again, governance failures over the past decade related to the stockholders included all of the following exempt. Focus on the short-term prices, failure to perform long-term growth analysis, abdication of the most responsibility to the management and analysts as long as stock price increase. Letter D, all of the above are failure. Again, governance failures over the past decade related to the stockholders included all of the following exempt. So all of that are failures. Answer is letter D. Number 19. Governance failures over the past decade related to external auditor included all of the following exempt. Failure of the external auditor to implement proper internal controls in the financial statement of the clients. Again, failure of the external auditor to implement proper internal control in the financial statement of their clients. Letter B, promotion of personnel based on ability to sell non-audit products. Letter C, replacement of direct tests of accounting balances with increased risk analysis and analytics. Letter D, all of the above are failure. Now, yung failure of the auditor to implement proper internal controls in the financial statement of their client, this is not a function of the internal or external auditor. That's why letter A is the exception. Again, palitan nila yung audio ha. That's a typo error. That's external auditor. That is not a function of the external auditor. So the answer in number 18, this is number 18, answer is letter A. 20. Which group is responsible for ensuring that the organization is run according to the organization's charter and there is proper accountability? Again, which group is responsible for ensuring that the organization is run according to the organization's charter and that there is proper accountability? The answer here is letter C. It's the board of directors. Yun po yung function ng board of directors, ensuring the organization is run according to the organization's charter and there is a proper accountability. The board of directors. Number 21, sumabay na ang sagot. Specific activities performed by regulatory agencies such as the sept include the following example. Reviewing of filings, interacting with PASB in setting accounting standards, auditing the financial statements to express an opinion. All of the above are performed. So yung answer dito, auditing the financial statement, ito po is function ng external auditor or independent auditor. It's not a function of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Number 22. Specific activities performed by external auditors include preparation of the client's financial statement. Hindi ito function ng external auditor. Service such as tax or consulting, yes. Pwede po yan. Creating and specifying independent standards, all the above are performed. Answer is letter B. Now, number 23, specific activities performed by management include the following example. Formulating strategy and risk management. Letter B, implementing effective internal controls. Hiring of external auditor. All of the above are performed. Yung specific activities performed by the management include the following example. Yung hiring lang ng external auditor because this is the function of the board of directors to which it is delegated to the audit committee. Number 24. The Public Oversight Board issued a report citing concerns with the audit process. These concerns included all of the following except. Alin dito ang exception, which concerns with the audit process. Number 24. Analytical procedure were being used inappropriately to replace direct test of account balances. Audit documentation specifically related to the planning of the audit was not in compliance with professional standards. Auditors were ignoring warning signal of fraud and other problems. All of the above were cited. All of the above were cited. Number 25. An audit committee must be comprised of outside directors and at least one outside financial expert. Which of the following is considered an outside director? Alin po daw dito yung ito considered na outside director? Letter A director who is not a member of the management has no other relationship with the organization. Ito yung sinasabing outside director. Hindi part ng management at the same time, walang relationship to the organization. This is an outside director. A consultant to the organization who works as honorary member. Kaya nga naging honorary member yan eh. Kasi part yan ng malamang livestock holder yan before na ngayon ay naging chairman of the board, umalis na pagka-board chairman, kaya nagiging honorary member of the board na lang. Kumbaga, pag sinasabi kang honorary, ito yung mga emeritus ng board. Yan yun po yung implication dyan.
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, hindi po ata kayo naka-share screen po.
But, teka ha. Ano nangyari dito? Oo nga, hindi ako naka-share screen. Ayan, naka-share screen na ha. Anong number na ba tayo? Number 25. 28. The audit committee major area of responsibility of the following exempt. 28, the audit committee major areas of responsibility include all of the following exempt. Yan, yung preparation of the financial statement. The audit committee should have at least one financial expert, members with a very similar background and perspective to avoid conflict, at least one independent director. Number 29 is, the answer is letter A. Yan ha? The audit committee should have at least one financial expert po. Yun po ang pinaka-requirement ng audit committee. Kasi the audit committee is responsible for financial reporting, yung internal control, and work closely with the external auditor during the audit engagement. Kaya kailangan meron silang isang member doon na financial expert. Number 30, external auditors should expect the audit committee and their client to ask them relevant and probing questions. Some of the relevant questions that audit committee members should ask the external auditor include all of the following exempt. Again, babasahin ko ulit ha. External auditor should expect the audit committee at their clients to ask them relevant and probing questions. Some of the relevant questions that audit committee members should ask the external auditor include all of the following exempt. Alin daw yung maaring hindi itanong ng audit committee? What are the most significant risks to financial reporting at this company? What level of assurance do your procedure provide with respect to the annual financial statements? Letter C, what do you calculate materiality, and what is your materiality threshold for the engagement? How do you assess the competence of the company's personnel engaged in financial reporting and related processes? Alin dito ang hindi pwedeng itanong ng external auditor, ng audit committee sa external auditor? Now, ang hindi pwedeng itanong dito ng audit committee, yung number 1, itatanong niya yan. In fact, yung mga significant risk related to internal control, related to inherent risk, dinidiscuss yan. Detection risk also might be discussed. Now, yung letter B naman, the level of assurance do your procedure provide with respect to the annual financial statement? Now, in fact, talagang may ibibigay na assurance yung auditor. What kind of assurance? Reasonable assurance. Hindi absolute assurance. Dinidiscuss yan during the audit engagement. How about yung letter C? Pwede bang itanong ng audit committee? Hindi pwede yan. Kasi ito ay yung calculation of materiality is a professional judgment. Maaring magkakaiba, even we ourselves, magkakaiba tayo ng ng materiality threshold. Magkakaiba tayo. Maaring immaterial sa'yo na pwedeng material sa akin. Katulad na lang, kahit sa figure na lang, kahit sa pera. Kung sa'yo, material yung, hindi material yung 100, maaring material sa ibang tao. Kasi, kokonti yung pera nila. Pag nawalan ka ng, siguro sa'yo, kung nawalan ka ng 100, pwede mo, di bali na lang, 100 lang naman yun. Pero sa isang minimum wage earner na talagang naghihirap din sa buhay, material na po yung 100. So yung calculation ng materiality, hindi pwedeng itanong yan sa external auditor in the sense na yan po ay professional judgment. It is according to the professional judgment of the auditor. Letter D. How do you assess the competence of the company's personnel engaged in financial reporting? Pwede rin itanong yan, audit committee. Kasi, ang competence ng mga empleyado in terms of financial reporting, lalo-lalo na yung accountant mismo, ma-assess yun ng auditor. Kung paano niya i-present yung financial statement. Although, tinitingnan na ng tinitingnan ng audit committee yan. But then again, yung presentation in itself ng accountant ay mag-engage na ng external auditor kung gaano kagaling si accountant. Kaya so pwedeng itanong po yan ng audit committee. So break time muna tayo kasi gaya nga ng sinasabi ko, itong topic na to ay bago po to. Kaya lang included na siya sa syllabus. Kaya ito, i-discuss ko na after doon sa accountancy law kasi nga, binigyan ko to ng priority in the sense na kailangan mong malaman ito. Kasi yung dinidiscuss doon sa accountancy law, previously, na-discuss na sa inyo yan. Ito ay hindi pa. Kaya binigyan ko siya ng priority. Total, yung discussion natin dito is the role of the external auditor, the management, the government agencies, and the intended users in the corporate governance. Kaakibat siya ng trabaho ng external auditor in providing services to the public. So, stop muna tayo, break muna tayo. Balik na tayo sa discussion natin. So, nasa number 31 na tayo. The audit committee should perform the following in relation to the management of the external auditor. Except hiring, firing if appropriate, determining the audit fee. Lahat po ito ay ginagawa ng audit committee. This is a function of the audit committee. Hiring, firing if appropriate, and determining the audit fee. Sila po ang nag-discuss niyan with the engagement team. Number 32. The audit committee should disclose the process it uses in discharging its responsibility, including all of the following except the number of meetings each year, the committee, how the committee oversees the internal audit function. Letter C, committee activities performed to assess the risk of fraudulent financial reporting. Letter D, the committee role in its direct implementation of internal control. Now, itong implementation of internal control is a concern of the audit committee. However, yung direct implementation ay nasa management po ito. This is being delegated to the management, yung direct implementation. However, the audit committee has an oversight function to that. Sila po talaga ang tinitingnan nila kung yung kung yung internal control in place ay sinusunod naman ng mga empleyado, particularly the management. Yung number of meetings, yes, kasama po yon sa responsibility ng audit committee. How the committee oversees the internal audit function, kasama po yan. Yung committee activities performed to assess the risk of fraudulent financial reporting, yes. It's also a function of the audit committee since they are to report. Sila nga din po yung responsable of the financial reporting of the entity. Sinusupervise po nila yung financial reporting of the entity. Of course, ginagawa to ng accountant, yung company accountant. However, re-reviewin po yan ng audit committee, yung gawa ng accountant. Pero yung direct implementation of internal controls, hindi po, this is being delegated to the management. At ang gagawa ng implementation yan, yung empleyado mismo, if ever sinusunod nila yung control na dapat sundin. Number 33. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002 requires which of the following? Bigay ko na lang yung sagot ha. All publicly held companies will provide a report on internal control over financial reporting. Number 34. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board has broad powers affecting the audit profession, including requiring all public accounting firms that audit in any U.S. company to register with the board, setting auditing standards for auditors of public companies. Okay, performing inspection of public accounting firms in the ICPA to determine their performance. All of the above. Kailangan ba talagang mag-register ng firm to the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board? Hindi naman siguro kailangan. Performing inspection of all public accounting firms in the ICPA to determine their performance. Hindi rin. Pero yung setting up auditing standards for auditors of public companies, that's the function of the board. Sila po yung magsiset ng standard for auditors in their performance of the practice. So letter B is the answer in number 34. Number 35. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board was established by an act of Congress. Congress po yun ang established niya. Number 36. Brooklyn Mercantile Inc., a public company, receives an audit services from Gregory and Erder LLC. Brooklyn may engage Gregory and Elder to perform corporate tax return only if ano ba nangyari dito sa statement na to? Sa Brooklyn Mercantile Inc., a public company, receives an audit services from Gregory and Elder LLC. Brooklyn may engage Gregory and Elder to perform corporate tax returns if Gregory and Elder is registered with PACON. Hindi naman kailangan mag-register lahat. Gregory and Elder is an independent Brooklyn for tax purposes. Tax services by Gregory and Elder are approved by Brooklyn's audit committee. That's the answer. PACOM approach such non-audit services in writing. No, hindi naman kailangan yung board ang mag-approve ng non-audit services in writing, ha? Hindi kailangan ng yun, ni Gregory and Elder ng approval ng board to perform tax services. So the answer here is letter C. Tax service by Gregory and Elder are approved by Brooklyn's audit committee. Because this is a function of reporting to which the audit was conducted by Gregory and Elder. Answer is letter C. Number 38. Number 38. A proper system of corporate governance is one that demands decision-making by auditors in place of management. Accountability back through the system to the shareholders. Internal audit represents representation on the board of directors. Audit planning to obtain competent and sufficient evidence. Okay, again, a proper system of corporate governance is one that demands. Number 38. Is one that demands accountability back through the system to the shareholders. Answer is letter B. Hindi naman magkakaroon ng board, ng management, ng entity without the shareholders. Kaya, babalik at babalik yan doon sa mga stockholders who compose the board of directors who hired the management team and likewise created the entity. Sila po yan. Answer is letter B. The good governance in the all of the following ways except not accepting auditor, may properly address the risk associated with an organization that does not demonstrate a commitment to the client. Letter B, performing more audit work to better manage the financial risk to the auditor. Ginagawa naman talaga ng committee. Letter C, charging a higher audit fee without performing increased audit works to compensate the auditor for the risk. Ano bang sinasabi ng sagot na to? Charging a higher audit fee without performing increased audit work to compensate the auditor for the risk. Ito yung sagot, yung letter C. Kaya nga nagcha-charge si auditor ng ng higher audit fee because of the assumption of that risk of performing the audit work. The answer is letter C. Number 40, last number, sumabay na yung sagot, ha? Companies with good governance generally have the following characteristics. Are these likely to engage in financial engineering? Financial engineering, ibig sabihin ito, gumagawa, table fabrication of table financial reporting lang to kasi ini-engineer yung kailangan lahat ng data of the financial report taken from the accounting records of the company. Hindi po financial engineering yan, ha? Yung financial engineering na yan, kaya nga quote-unquote yan, parang gumagawa lang ng financial report yung company, ha? Walang ganon. So, kailangan hindi po ginagawa yan, ha? Okay. Take the requirements of good internal control over the financial reporting seriously, yes? Make commitment to the financial competence needed. All of the above. Sagot niyan is letter. Kung merong good governance, of course, yung engagement of financial engineering is hindi yan mangyayari. Kung mangyari man, pero very remote is likely. So that's all the material that I can provide you with corporate governance. Now, puntahan na natin yung saglit lang, ha, magpiprint lang ako ng material.